Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-juice.com, and right after we did our hopped water and hopped tea episode, Mike said, you know, I have an alternative fermented beverage in my home as well. And I said, really? He's like, yeah, let me bring it down. Well, that'll be our next video. So here we are, the next video. I didn't want to do a dry January, but it looks like I'm doing a dry January. Okay, so we have some kombucha here in front of us.
Kombucha.
Wow, okay. Well, of course, if you do visit a local homebrew shop, like I know you do, you probably see that they do expand into things like cheese making and all kinds of other like fermentable things, including kombucha, which is, you know, you'll see in your own grocery store if you're lucky enough. So, Mike, tell us about this. The Scoby is creeping me out. That's why I never really wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it really does look like a, I don't know, some like horror movie about to attack me.
So for those who don't know what kombucha is, hard to not know because it's penetrating all health food stores, even mainstream grocery stores are now selling kombucha. But kombucha is a weak tea solution that has some sugar in it, a mild amount of sugar in it, that then is undergoes a fermentation with a combination of yeasts and acetic acid generating bacterias, and so it makes like a stable tea-like beverage, and it's got a lot of probiotics to it. You know, if you're into that train of thought, if you're into that thing. My wife drinks a lot of kombucha, and so I think it was, maybe it was Father's Day last year. It was some point last year she bought me a kombucha kit from Great Fermentation.
It's a gift to you for me.
Yeah. And so what that kit entails is it's some sugar. And in this recipe, this batch, it's I use that Anthony's organic raw sugar. So it's not, it's got a slight like brownish color to it, but it's not like brown sugar. It's just like organic cane sugar. And then Great Fermentation sells, for like this kombucha starter kit, it sells a tea blend specifically for it that they have for kombucha to get you started, which is a blend of black, green, and white teas all in the same bag. And that's all you really need. And the other piece is the Scoby. So the Scoby, I'll get a close-up picture of this for the video, but the Scoby comes in a sealed bag, and it was originally the size of about a hockey puck.
Really?
And about maybe half an inch thick. That's how big it was. And so you mix the sugar to your sweetness level and some tea. I had like an ounce of tea, and so like about half an ounce of tea total into, this is a 3-gallon container, so I did about 2.5 gallons here. I bought the fermenter. It's a wide mouth fermenter in the airlock and stuff I had, but I bought that myself because what I wanted to be able to do was when you're done with it, they tell you to remove the Scoby and put it in a bowl while you bottle this, make your next batch. But what I did is bought a mini fermenter with a spigot on it, so I could bottle from here, drive that level down close to the bottom, and then we can just start the new batch right on top of it. So anyway, with the Scoby, it has grown a little bit. It's got a little more fluffy, and so I think the next batch, we'll see what happens with the next batch. But yeah, it's got some weird
strings.
Yeah. But it's very similar to actually getting a pellicle on like your sour beers.
I know.
That's really what it is. So
I know. That doesn't creep me out as much as this does. This just seems like it's going to, you know, attach to my face, and then, you know.
So what do you think about the aroma and the flavor of it?
Okay, so what? Can I be critical about it? It's still pretty sweet.
It's really sweet.
I think it's still, like you said, it wasn't getting as sour as you wanted it to be. And then you said, I've been letting more air, oxygen, into the top of this. Yeah. Because when you first poured it, I did smell.
There's definitely some acetic character.
Yes.
A little bit of funk on there. Like there's definitely an acetic nose to it. When we first did it, I wasn't exactly, they didn't give great instructions. Actually, the traditionalist way to do it is open fermentation, where you might just put like a cloth over this with elastic. But I was just like, I don't know, water, sugar, sitting around. Yeah. So I just wanted to try it this way. But I think what happened in the beginning is that we got some activity, and I use a traditional airlock here. So whatever O2 was in here at the time, that was consumed as the Scoby did its thing. I will say too, the Scoby, it floats, But then at one point, the whole thing sunk to the bottom and rested on the bottom. And now it has come. Once the rest of this growth started to happen, then it came back to the top. Because there's some sacs here that are obviously keeping it suspended.
Yes.
And what I've done now is I've let the airlock sort of dry out slowly over time, so it's potentially getting more air in there. And I think now, when my wife and I tasted this a couple of months ago, there really was no acetic quality to it, but now it's there subtly. So I think what my wife and I, what the thing to do is next time is I'll be more brave, and I might just use the airlock without the water in it. I'll just put this little cap on it so it has some O2 exchange. The other thing too is I don't know how old the Scoby was in the little package. So I think what my wife and I are planning on doing, we're going to bottle this for better or for worse and drink it. Maybe I was thinking I might just add some fresh yeast to it to get it to carbonate in some bottles. And then we'll put a new batch in here, let more O2 get into it, and let this newly generated Scoby hopefully come to life.
I think so.
Because eventually that Scoby should be the size of this thing. It'll continue to grow a little bit, but it's a long, slow process.
Love it.
So,
before you said tea, and there is a tea presence there. I was going to say it has like an apple juice quality to it too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
a little bit of it, huh?
Yep. Like apple cider. Once when it first starts to turn a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Right? When it starts to ferment on its own, that's sort of where it's at.
Yeah.
Which is not unpleasant for what it is.
No, it's not. I don't think this is so. Overall, it's very drinkable. It's tasty for sure.
Yep.
When compared to the commercial kombuchas I've had, it's not at that acidic level yet. And so, but I think you're right. I think over time that sucker is going to get a lot more healthy. It's going to transform beverages a lot easier and probably quicker too.
For me, a lot of the commercial kombuchas that I've tried tend to just be a little bit too acetic in quality for me to really enjoy them. I get the probiotic aspect of it. I like that. And when they're blended with, bottled up with some fruit or however it is they do it, that's nice. But I think knowing this O2 thing, I'll play with that in future batches. I might be able to dial in the right amount of acetic acid quality that's right for us.
Yes, I got you. That you want and is not probably commercially available.
The weird thing about this is my wife really likes strongly acetic sour kombucha, but she does not enjoy sour beers. She says they're too bandit-y, too whatever. I'm like, this has got just as much funk, especially if this really starts to rip. It's going to be just as funky as some of those sour beers. I don't know. She can drink this, and I will drink the Cantillon.
That's right.
It's fine.
More for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully you dug this. Again, it's all about what you can make at home. And if you want a creepy Scoby living in your home, you can certainly get into kombucha, just like my friend Mike here. So you're going to take pictures of it. Are you going to
I'll get a picture of the Scoby. The recipe will be in the descriptor.
Yep.
And I'll get a picture of where my airlock level is if people are interested.
Cool.
That'll have flashed in the video. And then,
Cool, right on.
And then maybe at some point in the future when I make a better batch and the Scoby's really big to really freak her out, we'll do another video.
I can't wait for that. I will see you in the near future. All right. If you have tips on making kombucha at home, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel because we do this kind of crazy stuff every single week. I swear to God, we'll have beer next week. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. Kombucha on.
Cheers.